you can sell. It's okay to sell. However, it's better if you seek the cooperation. I didn't say the consent.
Okay, cooperation
of the tenant. It makes it easier for you to sell. Now, if I want to buy your property, I am going to be making a lot of visits to the property. I would like to see the interior of the property I'm buying. I would like to see the structural integrity. I would like to know and all of that. And don't forget, if the property is tenanted, that person has already given away his possession for that period of time. So if you are coming in for inspections and all of that without the consent of that tenant, then you're a trespasser.
Oh, that's the consequence.
How do I open my flat to a stranger if my landlord, I'm not in good?
You were not pre-informed.
Yes. Then how do I want to buy? A lot of them, they do it hush, 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 and you see that there are a lot of problems. There's always a lot of problems. That is when the tenants, in most cases, become very recalcitrant and say, okay, you know what, we're not giving possession. I'll be here for 3 years. We'll be going to court and back. Wow. So it's always good at the initial stage. Yes, there'll be tension. But you as a landlord who is selling, you have to be very practical. This is not law, but social. You have to put something out of that, the proceeds of your sale.
I mean,
for buying them over.
Yes.
To make things easy for yourself.
I think you should come down to their level and, put yourself in their shoes. Be understanding.
They have no right to impede you from selling, but they can make things difficult.
Oh, yes, they can. Oh, yes, they can. We've seen that happen many times.
So they still have their right. So that takes me to the issue of viewings. When you're doing viewings, is their right to? They don't have a right. You don't have a right to compel them to open up. So what if they choose to go out at that time and lock up? How do you want to do the? So they still have a right to notice. So if you intend to do your viewings, you give them adequate notice, reasonable time. Okay. Because if you do anything short of that, you're a trespasser.
So,
security deposit.
Let's talk about security deposits. Because every time you're paying your rent for, even as a first time, person, they'll ask you for a certain amount of money, it's a security deposit. And I always ask, what is it for? They will say, don't worry, you collect it.
And all of that.
If you're a good tenant, they will return the money. If not, your money will just be increasing. But
so if the tenant doesn't do anything that requires that the security deposit should be withheld, they have the right to get it back, to retrieve it back from whether is that landlord. So whether it's a new purchaser or it's the old tenant, landlord, they are still going to collect it. Okay. So if you as the new purchaser, you have to ask all these questions from the old landlord. How much? You have to retrieve it. If not, you'll be the one taking over the liability. So you take over the asset, you take over the liabilities, and all the previous arrangements in the rental agreement binds you. You're stepping into the shoes of their old landlord. You have to wait it out. If you want to do any rent increase, you have to wait till the expiration
of the first one, the previous one,
and give them adequate notices. So you have to continue. So you can't be brash about it, and you can't violate their rights. If you violate their rights, you'll be liable to damages.
Okay, so some people come and say this is a new dispensation.
No.
I'm not going to be like the other guy. My word is Lord.
Yes, you have a right to, but you must wait it out. You can't come into a tenant-occupied property and want to start changing things almost immediately. No, you have to exercise a lot of caution. So if there are 6 flats there, you need to have information on every tenancy is different. Is peculiar in its own. So you have to know who you're dealing with, what time the expiration is, how much they're paying, their security deposits, and all of that. And you have to deal with individual tenants. So it's when you now wait it out. If you want to evict all of them, it's still time or money. It's either you wait it out or you're ready to spend money. But to come in brashly and start giving orders, it's not going to work.
Maybe the landlord dies or the owner of the house dies, and then they have, maybe the owner has many children. And you can't tell which one is which one. So this one comes today and says, oh, I'm the owner of this house, give me rent. And then you pay rent to that person. Another person comes another time and say you pay to the wrong person. And then there's a whole lot of drag. You have to pay again because you will. I know a
If you now
situation
find
like
out
that has
that is
happened.
the original person, that is the appropriate person, then you have to pay. That's why you have to exercise a lot of caution. If somebody is coming to me to say I'm the rightful person, bring a document to support it. Where's the family head? The family head. Yes, there has to be a family head. There has to be a family.
But
Where's the family resolution? Appointing
What
you?
if I bring a fake document, an affidavit that I went to the court to swear that says that I am the rightful owner, when indeed I am not?
Did you hear what I said?
You said bring document.
Where is the family head? When somebody dies, right? Then any property that he owns becomes family property.
Okay.
And there has to be a head of the family.
Okay.
If it's a nuclear family where the man had maybe 4 children and his wife, the property will devolve on his children if there is no will. Right?
Okay.
So if there's a will, then we have to wait it out to see who and distributed this particular estate to. If there's no will, if he died intestate, then it becomes a family. Then it depends on how they want to share it.
To share it.
So you should be speaking to the family head.
What
And
if the
in
person
most
poses as a
cases-
family head and you don't know?
You have to do your intelligence. You know
So
your
you have to
landlord.
do due diligence. You can't just take it at
Yeah.
face.
It's either the caretaker will take responsibility,
Okay.
or if you're dealing with your landlord, then you know you can't just somebody who I don't know can't just come to me and say I'm the landlord's son, I'm the family head. No, you're parting away with a lot of money, so you have to exercise a lot of caution.
Sure.
If you don't exercise caution, then you will repay. Yes.
We said at the same time.
When the appropriate person comes, you will have to pay again.
Okay.